Hi, I just wanted to navigate through the ACT Aspire Test Nav Sandbox and show you some things that I found while I was playing around with this, practicing for the Aspire. This is definitely something that we need to allow our students to play around with, but there are some tools and some resources inside of the TestNav site that I believe will be beneficial for our students to know when we begin the Aspire the first week of May. So I will log in using, I am reading 5, that's my content area and my grade level, and then the password is ACT Aspire. You will see the beginning page, and then of course I'm going to go ahead and start the test. One thing that I would definitely tell the students is that their time is located up here in the right hand corner. Of course, they will not have this much time. Those times are listed on the ACT Aspire website, and I can provide those for you later for each test. Also, their name is up here in the right hand corner, along with some resources, a drop down menu. The first practice question that is on this particular sandbox for my grade and subject level is a technology enhanced question, which is just where the students will be reading this passage, and then they will have to put the events from the passage in the correct order from first to last, which is fairly simple to do. I know that my students do struggle a little bit with reading online, and so I do want you to see that they provide you with, on the drop down menu over here, a line reader mask. And so I feel like the students need to play around with this so it won't be a novelty come time for the test, but I wanted to show you how I have informed the students that I believe it will be best. And of course then they can adjust that to suit their needs. But your line reader mask can be made larger, of course. I have chosen to make it small enough so that I can still use my scroll bar on the outside of the reader mask, and then I can scroll down in this way. Now I would like to see more than one line at a time, so I actually opened mine up for about 2 to 3 lines. And then of course you can move it around on over the passage and read a little at a time, and then of course scroll up to make sure that they get the entire passage. I believe that this would help them focus as they read, and then when of course they no longer need it, they can make the line reader mask disappear. So that's one thing that I felt was beneficial for our students. Another thing that would help possibly for the science or the math when you have diagrams, or even reading when you have visual elements, is the magnifier. And it's just a little square magnifier that you can use to magnify the text or any pictures or diagrams. And then of course you can click off of that. I'm going to navigate through and show you that here we have another technology enhanced question. The question actually states drag 2 quotations that support the claim into the box. I have discovered that you can drag 1 and then of course move on, and it shows as you have answered this question. So our students need to make sure that they read and know for sure how many things that they need to put into these technology enhanced boxes. Also, they ask in this particular question about highlighted quotations, and they need to know that those questions come directly from the quotations that are highlighted in the text. Another thing that I wanted you guys to see was refers to when a student has multiple choice questions. Not only can they use the answer masking, which will actually allow them to see one choice at a time, so that they can focus, and if they do not want that, they can turn it off. But up here they can also use an answer eliminator, and if they absolutely know that A is not the answer, they can click on that, or maybe D, and then maybe they have the choices between B and C. Now if they do not want that anymore, they can always click off of it and then go and answer the question. Now if they want to go back and take those off, they go back up to the answer eliminator and click those off. Another thing that I feel like is very beneficial for our students to know is to look at the open-ended or the constructed response questions. This is a constructed response question that, from what I have read, will be a 2-point question. And how I know this is due to the amount of characters that are required for this particular box, for this constructed response. This specifically says use one detail from the passage to explain why the narrator feels about the snow day in those specific highlighted paragraphs, or how the narrator knows. And then, of course, they have to use one detail from the passage to prove that. Now, the students can make their boxes larger or smaller, but I have figured out that this is about 14 lines of text typed in. And so the students need to understand that that they should look to the bottom to see what is required of them. And I know that that is characters and spaces, so that they should know that that will be a 2-point question and not a 4-point question. I'm going to fast forward to a 4-point question. I'm going to go to the review. I'll show you how this works in just a minute. I'm going to go all the way to number 15, which is a 4-point constructed response question. And you will see that the number of characters has now doubled. It is now 1,800 characters, which is about 28 lines of text that a student can place in that particular box. This is an explanation question. I would say that this would be a DOK 3, whereas the other one was probably a DOK 1 or 2. And then here we have use one detail from the passage and one detail from the selection. You actually have 2 separate texts that they are comparing and contrasting, or in this instance they are telling the similarities between the works of these 2 people. Now, one thing that I feel is really neat, if a student is, let's say, on question 6 and they do not know for sure if they have this question correct, but their time is running out, they can bookmark this question. As they go through, they can bookmark, several questions. Let's say that they are unsure about question 9 also, and they bookmark that one. When they see that their time is running low, there will be a 5-minute orange little button or warning that will pop up next to their name, and they at that point can go back to their list or their review list, and they can go to the bookmarks, and it will show specifically those questions that they were unsure of that they did bookmark, and they can go back to those specifically. Now, some teachers may want to tell the students to do all the multiple choice questions first and then go and bookmark your constructed response and go back to the constructed response. Or the teacher may want to recommend that they do the constructed response questions first. I don't know what would be best, so I don't really have a recommendation, but it's whatever works, whatever you believe will work for the students. So there's not a whole lot here other than those specific resources. I do feel like the line reader mask is beneficial for my students so that they can focus entirely on the text, you know, as they're reading, and not necessarily have to worry so much about the question at that moment. And I do believe that it will help them focus. Another thing is the answer eliminator, which I believe will help them. I have taught my students to go through and pick out the answers that they know are absolutely not correct, and that way they can focus on the ones that that could be, and that way they can determine the best choice for that answer. Also, the answer masking. You know, while they're reading, they may want to just completely blank this out so that they do not know, and then go and read the question, and then read one question at a time. And they can also go back up and eliminate. Go back up and eliminate their answer eliminators. So these are just a few things. I have played around in the science. I have also played around in the math. I would definitely recommend it because in the math and the science, on the constructed response, you will see that the boxes are, they require different amounts of text. And so just from what I have read and understood, I believe that they're really looking at the depth of knowledge questions. You know, how much is required to completely answer that question. That's not to say that, you know, the students need to completely fill up the boxes, but they do need to understand that a 900 character box and an 1800 character box, those two different boxes are requiring two different amounts of text, so therefore the answers should be of differing lengths. So if you have any questions, or if you would like for me to come and show you some of these hints, just let me know and I'll be glad to do so. Thank you.